Her Democratic colleague and the minority leader of the Montana State House, Kim Abbott. Leader Abbott, we appreciate you being here, especially today. I know it's been nuts. Your caucus member, Zooey Zephyr, is banned from the House floor for the rest of this term. Your immediate reaction to this?
So this is an extreme response without precedent. I don't support it. You saw our caucus vote against supporting it. Literally, we could not find a precedent for removing a duly elected member of the House of Representatives from the floor.
Okay, so in practical terms, my understanding is this will last about a week because then the session ends. But the meaning really has been larger. This has blown up. In 1 week span, the eyes of the nation are on your Capitol, on your chamber. Why doesn't Zephyr apologize to say, this is very personal to me, but I do acknowledge my words didn't comply with House rules? I mean, we have seen similar statements at every level of government. Presidents have to apologize if they speak out of turn. What did you advise her personally?
So you would have to ask Representative Zephyr. The conversations we had, I said, the path forward is you can apologize for your statements. My advice to her was if she wasn't sorry, she shouldn't apologize.
Really, why?
I don't think that people should give insincere apologies.
Okay. In politics, you know, people come to the table, they hash things out, nobody gets everything they want, nobody gets to say everything they want, of course, you know that, whether it's, you know, United States Congress, State House, City Council. So you feel that taking that stand is more important than maybe being part of the process?
So our caucus, so you know that we're in a situation where my caucus is in a super minority. We have worked incredibly hard on a variety of issues this session, including affordable housing, child care, permanent property tax relief, infrastructure for mental health and health care, infrastructure for roads and bridges. And those are all priorities. But something else that's a priority is like the basic first principles of democracy and the democratic process and fair representation. And what we saw here was the Republican majority taking away the active representation in terms of free debate on the floor for 11,000 Montanans. And we're gonna stand up, like we have things to do and we have priorities as Montana Democrats, but we have to stand up for first principles of representative democracy, and that's what we did today.
I see. With that in mind, you mentioned being in the super minority and wanting to get things done. Would your advice have been the same if you had a 51-50 advantage and you were depending on her vote?
So I couldn't guess at that. I think that we're all operating in a context that is real and live and moving. And for our whole caucus, what we're trying to do is do the work that we need to do for the people of Montana, deliver on issues that are important for Montana. And like, I think it's important to be clear that not one Democrat brought a bill that dealt with LGBTQ issues this session. Republicans brought attacks on this community over and over and over again, and over and over and over again. The Democratic caucus stood up for that community. I'm part of that community, and said what we needed to say while also trying to deliver on other issues. But this, I think what we saw today was like an issue of like core democratic principles. And I think you saw 32 people stand up for basic constitutional rights. And, you know, this wasn't really about rules. This was about, do 11,000 people get representation in this building in the way that they're supposed to? Do we care about free speech? And you saw 32 Democrats stand up for that.
Looking to the future then, Leader Abbott, both sides feel passionately about these bills that have come up, be it medical care, the gender binary, drag shows in schools or what have you. One side says you're torturing kids, you're punishing LGBTQ people.
I just need to, can I interrupt you?
Says
Like, there's not drag shows in schools. Yeah, that's
right.
not.
I'm not saying there are. Just the bill would ban things in the public square.
Sure.
And then the other side says, no, we're protecting kids. We're not torturing kids. We're protecting them. Is there anyone in the middle, at your level of leadership or above, that is, I mean, genuinely with, good faith, trying to build a bridge?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that we, like, as Montana Democrats, we are 32 people in a body of 100, and we need 51 people to advance anything. So of course, on any given issue that we care about, we know it has to be bipartisan, we know it has to be a compromise. We're good at that. We're good at that. And I think if you look through what our caucus has advanced, we've advanced issues of affordable housing, we've advanced issues of childcare, we've advanced issues of provider rates that help with our infrastructure around caring for our elderly and folks that are suffering from substance abuse disorders or mental health issues. Like, we have advanced a whole bunch of key priorities with our partners on the Republican side of the aisle. So absolutely there's middle ground. There are some things that we can't bend on, and the basic rights, dignity, and humanity of our neighbors, me, Representative Howell, Representative Zephyr, Representative Hawk, we can't bend on that, and our caucus won't bend on that.
I see. While representing tens of thousands, it also clearly is a personal issue as well. At the same time, Step 8 Representative Kim Abbott, Democratic Minority Leader of the Montana House of Representatives. Leader Abbott, thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. It was a pleasure.